One thing that I've noticed in the East Europe,
East Europe.
East Europe, is that there is a lot of people that had, like you, a very good accent
Hmm.
and speak English.
Right.
It's very common that some people that I already saw in the internet, like in YouTube videos,
Hmm.
people from Russia,
Hmm.
uh, Bulgaria, etc. They had a very good accent,
Hmm.
a very good English accent.
Yeah,
What do you think about it? Is
that's
something
really
like
interesting.
the specific from people who first East Europe?
Yeah, I think it really differs from situation to situation because like you have very thick and very strong accents, I think, in every country that is not an English speaking country. It just varies from the amount of education that that person has had, the amount of knowledge that they have about English, and just how immersed, just how into the language they are. Because you mentioned Eastern European countries. The popular opinion about Eastern European countries is that people usually tend to have a very thick and very strong accent. You know, usually like in the most amounts of people have that kind of accent. So for me to hear that you've had experiences listening to people that have had a clear English accent when they talk, very good, as you say, it's very interesting because for me, like I've always grown up hearing that Russians have like a very thick accent, and even like people said that Serbians also have very thick accents, and they all kind of put us in the same group. You know what I mean? I don't know if you follow American entertainment or even British entertainment for that matter. They every time somebody has like a very thick accent, and if they look like they're Eastern European, people consider them Russian because I guess that's the first impression that you have. But as
Yes,
you know, there's many different
countries.
countries, yeah, and many different variations of accents. You know what I mean? Like we might share the same roots in terms of our own languages. Like we have, like the Slavic group of languages is the group here in Eastern Europe, where you have a lot of countries that have similar languages. Like here, Serbia, Croatia, Bosnia have pretty much the same language. It's not just similar; it's pretty much the same. Bulgaria is also in that. Macedonia, like you have Slovenia, for example, as well. And then, like you further move on to Russia, Ukraine, and so on and so forth. Like there are similarities, but we each have different types of accents. You know, like I don't think that the same accent that a Russian person has when they're talking in English is the same that, for example, a Czech or a Polish person has. So like they are Slavic as well. They're not in Eastern Europe, but they're close. So yeah, like it varies from person to person. I guess everybody has their own type of accents, and everybody has their own type of inflection, their own type of intonation when they're speaking. Like I've spoken to many Brazilian people so far in Italki, and I can hear similarities in terms of the accents that people have because you all speak the same language, Portuguese, and so there are certain intonations that you
Yes,
have from Portuguese innately. It's inherent that you have it from Portuguese, and when you're speaking in English, it comes through. But there are some people
yes.
that don't have that. There are some people that have eliminated that from their, speaking. So it's a very interesting, case and
Thing.
study.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a very interesting thing to look at. I love listening to many different people and just hearing how they talk in English.
Yes, I think that it depends of the
It
people.
depends on.
Depends on the people.
Yeah.
If the people work hard in pronunciation, uh, the consequence is that the English accent will be better.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
It's just about how. Sorry to interrupt you. It's just about how much work you put in and how much of knowledge you have about the accent that you're trying to cover. Because, for example, I don't know if this is the same. Like as I've said, like I've talked to many Brazilians, but I don't know if it's the same for you guys. Like when we were in school when I was a kid, the accents that the teachers were trying to apply to us was the British accent. And we were always kind of forced to talk that way. You know what I mean? And so it kind of conflicts with the English that we hear when we're home. Because when we watch entertainment, we watch it pretty much like American TV shows and everything. So like it's different. It's just about how much work you put in.